Hey, they say it ain't over till it's over. And let me tell you, this one definitely ain't over.
My God, oh God, this is Son of God level. The sun, the sky, you can see the vibe. We ride the high, always on a high level. So open up your eyes better. Why these tell me? You can join the journey, you is worthy. Just allow me, no. Kicking down your door. Bloodsuckers, I see this industry is filled with sheep. People that pretend to be something that they would never be. Oh my, I just need some little old peace of mind. The sons of kings, the ghouls, the gods. The moon, the light, the fools, the facts. My God, oh God, this is Son of God level. The sun, the sky, you can see the vibe. We ride the high, always on a high level. So open up your eyes, baby. I can never be controlled.
Well, ain't it nice to see a familiar face? Welcome to another year of football with Madden NFL 23. Before we get started, go ahead and change up your options, or just stick with what worked for you last year. And don't worry, if you ever feel like switching it up, you can always change things around in settings later.
I see both sides of all the titles you need to grow. I've been watching mine, but I ain't like the others no more. God, I'm learning lessons as I go. You're only wasting time. Tell the devil there's a door. Praying God is only trying to test me for the glory.
Accessibility settings.
Entering settings screen, you have 20 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
You can see the vibe. We ride the high, always on a high level. So open up your eyes better.
Accessibility settings. Madden 23 gives you multiple new ways to pass the ball. Try them all out here and pick what works best for you. You can always change your passing style later in the settings menu. Try to hit the sweet spot of the passing meter to guarantee yourself an accurate or perfect pass. Place the ball exactly where you want it around your target by using the passing reticle and target area. Control the exact strength of your pass by using the passing meter. Place the ball exactly where you want it around your target by using the passing reticle and target area. Stick with what you know. Traditional old school Madden style passing. Lead the receiver in any direction by using the left stick. Control the exact strength of your pass by using the passing meter. Place the ball.
Here we go. Set, punt. Here we go! Here we go!
Madden 23 gives you multiple new ways to control the exact strength of your pass by using the passing.
Let's go! Set! On the set! Let it go! Ready, ready! Put it right! Ready up! Come on, set! Ready!
Madden 23 stick with what you know.
Ready, ready! Ready! On the ready! One. Ready! Let go!
Madden 23 stick with what you know.
Hey! Set, ready! Set, go! Set! Set up! Go down! What? Ready, set! Let's go! Ready! Come on, set!
Madden 23 gives you multiple new ways to pass the ball.
On the double! Let go! Hey, ready! Single! Got it! Shut up! Hey, ready! What? Ready! Let go! Set, ready! Set! Set!
Madden 20 control the exact strength of your pass by using the passing meter. Place the ball exact.
Ready? Right!
Madden 23 gives you multiple new ways to pass the ball. Stick with what you know. Control the exact strength of your pass by using the passing meter. Place the ball exactly where you want it around your target by using the passing reticle and target area.
Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gonna give her some. Let's reflect times. I try to collect minds from complex rhymes. And by the way, shout out Tech 9. Go and shut the up. Just let me talk. I'm a time bomb that's waiting to go off. Quite nuclear, amazing what fame could do to you. Too peculiar, although I'm truly a renaissance starter. My mind divine, it take me a lot farther. Growing up, I really had beef with my father. But why bother explaining my feelings? Try harder, but either way they gon' paint you the villain. 8 months with no phone, dog, we aiming for...
This is a special presentation of EA Sports from the Coliseum in Oakland. Our tribute to the coach, the John Madden Legacy Game. I'm Brandon Gaudin here to take you through the proceedings. And coming up, we're going to tell the story of a man who was truly larger than life and whose impact on the sport of football, certainly it's going to live on for decades and decades to come. Now, we've assembled a couple of rosters featuring some of Coach's favorite players from both yesterday and today, and Coach himself will be on the sidelines for both squads, trying to motivate his guys to victory. Now, I'm joined now by my good friend Charles Davis. CD, your thoughts on John Madden and what he meant to the sport he loves so much?
For me, Brandon, it's the word joy. He brought that to the game of football and brought the game to so many people. He stayed involved his entire life. And moving forward, when you think of football, you're always going to think John Madden.
The Coliseum back to its original 70s glory. What a scene in the East Bay, and we're underway. Legacy game. So it's the NFC stars who will get the ball first. And Charles, as we alluded to, we've got a different era of coach on each sideline. So the man coaching this NFC squad, we'll call him Young John Madden. This is a coach who was trying to establish a foothold in the NFL and on the cusp of doing it very successfully.
Yeah, you think back to that period, those early days as the coach of the Raiders, the late 60s in the AFL and then in the NFL in the early 70s. The coach was a guy who was ahead of his time. The Raiders were one of the first teams to have mini camps, one of the first to film practice because he wanted to practice coaching as much as he could. And his teams, they were successful right from the start of his head coaching tenure.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. So as we mentioned at the top, let's take you through the life of John Madden. And you know, it's very fitting that we're here back in the Bay Area, not just because John's so associated with Raider football, but also because this was where he spent his formative years.
Yeah, he grew up over in Daly City with his buddy John Robinson, who would also become an NFL head coach. He played his high school ball at Jefferson High, eventually wound up playing tackle at the University of Oregon, and later Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Played well enough that in 1958, he was a 21st round draft pick of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right, the draft had 30 rounds then.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A give running left. It's Sanders. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. But Charles, you mentioned Coach was a 21st-round draft pick back in 1958. It was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp. Actually never saw the field as a player in the NFL. But it was still during his time with the Eagles, you and I were talking about this before going on air, that you could start to see the light bulb going on for what his career path might entail.
And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee, he started to spend a lot of time breaking down film with the Eagles, with quarterback Norm Van Brocklin, the future Hall of Famer and future head coach in the NFL. Remember, Norm Van Brocklin coached with the Falcons, he coached with the Vikings. And it was there during that time, I think Coach Madden realized his love of football and love for teaching.
And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. Jerry Rice. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the NFC takes it all the way down the field to score on their opening drive. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Morton Anderson now for the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Takes it at the 7. Oh, good return up past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. So, Charles, as mentioned, we've got another Coach Madden over here on the AFC sideline. Of course, his Raiders, members of the AFC West. So this is a conference he battled in for his entire career. And you think about the landscape of the NFL as he was getting into the back half of his tenure. It was a golden era for coaches. You had Don Shula, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Bud Grant. But it was John Madden who had the best winning percentage of them all, CD. 759, the best ever.
Brandon, it's hard to believe he could be so successful in a conference with all those great teams. The Steelers won 4 Super Bowls. The Dolphins won 2 and were a mainstay in the playoffs. The Colts were tough. The Broncos came on late and went to a Super Bowl themselves. But against Hall of Fame coaches, John Madden's record, 36, 16, and 2. That's pretty incredible. His Raiders were a factor each and every year.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of the first with 3rd down looming. Well, Charles, you know, it was in the early 1960s that a young John Madden made the acquaintance of the owner of the Oakland Raiders, one Al Davis, of course, and the two, they really bonded, would become one of the best owner-coach duos in NFL history. And to take it a step further, Al Davis became someone who John referred to as his best friend.
Yeah, in 1967, Brandon, Al Davis hired Coach Madden to be a linebackers coach. Remember, this was still the AFL at that point. We had not merged totally with the NFL. And Coach Madden, he paid dividends almost immediately. Helped the Raiders win the AFL title in 1968. And that meant a date for the Green Bay Packers in what was now known as Super Bowl II. But by 1969, at the age of 32, just 32, Brandon, John Madden assumed the mantle of head coach of the Oakland Raiders. And what a ride he, the Raiders, and the NFL were about to go on.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. 1 quarter in the books at the Coliseum. What a day. The NFC Stars with the early lead in the John Madden Legacy game on EA Sports. The AFC with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. 2nd and 11 now. They run the draw play. Allen. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Charles, you talked about John Madden and the Raiders going on a ride. Well, try these numbers on for size. In 10 seasons as a head coach, the Raiders won their division 7 times. They finished 2nd the other 3 times. And he became the youngest coach to amass 100 career regular season victories and is still, to this day, the franchise leader in wins.
And when you think about it, that's where that rivalry with Kansas City really took root. As did the expression commitment to excellence. And boy, was it personified by the players who played for Coach Madden. On offense, how about quarterback Kenny Stabler, wide receiver Cliff Branch, wide receiver Fred Biletnikoff, tight end Dave Casper, to name a few. How about those great linemen he had? Center Jim Otto, guard Gene Upshaw, tackle Art Shell, all of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And guys on the defensive side of the ball, the Mad Stork himself, Ted Hendricks, Willie Brown, John Matuzak, Otis Sistrom, and Big Ben Davidson. So many great players, so many great memories.
2 minutes remain here in the first half of the John Madden Legacy game. We'll be back. Hey, we want to let you know, give you a fair warning that coming up at halftime, the folks at EA Sports have put together a very nice package in tribute to Coach Madden. So make sure you stick around for that. Again, coming up at halftime.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
The career leader in field goals made knocks that one through. And they are the board, trailing now 6-3. So the field goal that cuts the lead in half as they, too, are able to get some points on their initial drive of the game.
Yeah, all in all, a pretty positive response, right, to the points that were scored against them, and they got a little help from their opponent anyway. Missed the conversion, so now they're just 3 back.
And after the made field goal, here's Adam Vinatieri to kick it away. Here comes Devin Hester bringing it out. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. With the NFC offense coming out here. And you know, Charles, Coach Madden always said that if he had one drive to win a game and he had to pick a quarterback, he would pick Kenny Stabler. But I think if you asked him to omit any of his Raiders players, there's a good chance the guy he'd select would be Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is always smiling. He's always laughing. He's always talking to someone. He remembers that it's a game. And if it's a game, you should have fun.
And Brandon, that always reminds me of a great movie line where one of the players was telling the coach, every time I say it's a game, you say it's a business. And every time I say it's a business, you say it's a game. With Coach, it was always a game.
Favre. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Charles, you think about all the success that John Madden had as an NFL head coach, and he had plenty, and we talked about it, including the 10 straight winning seasons, a Super Bowl title. But like any great coach, he also suffered through a few tough losses along the way as well.
And Brandon, those tough losses came in high-stakes games because they always had such great success. Think about it this way. 6 times in his 10 years, the Raiders were knocked out in either the AFL championship game or the AFC championship game. But might be a divisional round exit. That's the one that bothered him most of all. Three Rivers Stadium, December 1972. Yes, the Immaculate Reception game. Franco Harris grabbing the ball that was deflected. Almost at his shoe tops, he picked it up and took it in for a game-winning score to give the Steelers a 13-7 victory. And partner, anyone who loves black and silver still doesn't believe that ball hit anyone in black and silver that day, and that play should never have counted.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Favre. This will be caught by Randy Moss. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. The CD, we spoke of some of the Raiders' tough playoff losses through the decade of the 70s. But for one shining season, they put it all together, and that was 1976. You remember a 13-1 regular season, a memorable playoff win over New England. They dominated the Steelers 24-7 in the AFC title game, and then a meeting with the Minnesota Vikings in Super Bowl 11.
Oh, Brandon, what a game that was down at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. A gorgeous 53-degree day, perfect for football. Raiders get out to a 16-0 lead at the half, and Clarence Davis, no relation, although I would certainly claim him, strong on the ground, 137 yards rushing. How about Freddie Blitnikoff, the MVP of that game, catching everything that came his way? Kenny Stabler running the offense with precision, and we all remember the one that sealed it. The grand old man himself, Willie Brown, with the laser-focused eyes, picking off Fran Tarkenton and taking it 75 yards for a touchdown. 32-14 the final score. Raiders had their first Super Bowl title, and we got the iconic shot of Coach Madden being lifted on the shoulder pads of his players and carried aloft as a Super Bowl champ.
On 2nd down, Favre to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. From the shotgun, it's Favre to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, and what was once a nice drive stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
And that is a bad miss. No good. Wide to the right. And that will keep this a 3-point game. So from nothing less there than chip shot distance, a tough miss from the right hash mark.
Well, this is just a wobbler. I mean, he knows he's got to get it going left, but that was right all the way.
The AFC offense set to take their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it. Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the...
Coming up in the second half, we'll run through John's post-coaching triumphs. But for now, we present a special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by the Raiders' own Trey Mosley.
What comes to mind when you hear the name Madden? Is it the coach who led the Raiders to their first Super Bowl victory? Perhaps it's the broadcaster who entertained millions of fans. Or maybe it's the video game known simply by his name. But no matter what comes to mind when you hear the name Madden, everyone thinks of one thing: football.
The core of it was football. It's the greatest game in the world. The left goes to the right goes to the left.
Madden is on the field. He wants to know if it's real. John Madden goes on the shoulders of his players.
In my mind, John Madden is the most important figure in the history of professional football. Show me somebody else who did it on 3 levels the way John did it. There's nobody.
Boy, Charles, yeah, that is really well done. Coach was something else, wasn't he?
I'm reminded what Al Davis said when he was inducted coach of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Brandon. He loved the game. He loved his team. He loved the Raiders. He loved this league. And you can see it with everything he does.
No doubt. But it's quite possible, though, that now he would say, hey, enough of that. Let's play some football. The second half forthcoming from Oakland. He was solid on the field goal, but not as solid on the kickoff there. And that'll put him at the 40-yard line to start this drive. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
On second down and 4. Brady got him in. It's Brown. So now, Charles, to pick up the story we've been telling, John Madden at 42, he had just completed a 10-year stint as the coach of the Raiders. He wants to step away a bit from the grind of coaching, but he doesn't want to step away from the game of football. So he ends up signing on with CBS in 1979 to try his hand at broadcasting. And much like his coaching career, he was pretty much an instant success.
Partner, he really connected with the people right from the start, and people may not remember, he wasn't even on the #1 team in the beginning. He worked his way up. But the same things that made him a great coach made him a great broadcaster. The ability to show the big picture, yet break it down into the details. That's what he did with his teams. That's what he did with the people. That way, he was simple to understand, yet insightful for viewers. And he did with that big personality that he had, one that connected with everyone.
So for Coach Madden, Charles, by 1981, his broadcasting career is really taking off. He's elevated to the network's #1 booth that calls all the big matchups. And he gets the plum assignment of calling Super Bowl 16, 49ers and Bengals, and he's teamed up with Pat Summerall. And that pairing ultimately would go on to be one of the most influential in sports broadcasting history.
Influential not just in us listening to them. Remember, they went on to call 8 Super Bowls together. But how they put together kind of the template that all... Follow now. Sitting down with the head coaches and the quarterbacks and the stars of each team before a ball game to get extra information. And the way that those two paired together, Pat Summerall, short, concise, to the point.
Touchdown! Tim Brown from 10 yards out, and the AFC has taken the lead.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with an AFC touchdown. Here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. Hester to return from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The NFC heading back out. Hall of Famer Randy Moss a part of this offense. And Coach Madden, boy, he always appreciated the ferociousness with which number 84 attacked the football in the air.
As Randy Moss says, just chunk it up there, dog, and I'll go get it.
And, Coach, boy, did he ever go get it. Over 15,000 receiving yards, 156 touchdowns. And how about this? From his rookie year of 1998 until 2009, those were his prime seasons, right? He led the league in touchdowns 5 times, but even more so, he showed us all how to go up and get it. Great body control. No one's ever done it better playing the ball in the air.
Favre's throw complete there to Rice. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. As you mentioned, CD, talking about John Madden, the broadcaster, he called 8 Super Bowls with Pat Summerall, 3 more with Al Michaels later in his career. He spent nearly 3 decades in the booth all told. And not only was he beloved for his mannerisms, we know that, but he was an innovator as well.
Yeah, Brandon, you're talking about things like the telestrator, which totally became identified with him. And now it's a staple for all analysts to have in the booth. And then you think about things like turducken on Thanksgiving, when he used words like boom and pow. He helped create the old Madden team. He was a very popular commercial pitch man. And even the Madden Cruiser was unique, and you had to be someone to get a ride on it, too.
Now, CD, we did get a little ahead of ourselves talking about John Madden, the broadcaster in the 90s and 2000s, because there was another product during that time period that he became quite famous for, and it's something that you and I know a little bit about, and that's the video game that bears his name. Originally John Madden Football when it was first released back in the late 1980s, and now known the world over simply as Madden.
And Coach saw this originally as a way to teach the game of football. The early designs were for a 7-on-7 game, but he said no chance. He would not sign off on it. He wanted to be as realistic as possible. He told him, call me when it's 11-on-11. And he got his wish.
Yeah, after that debut, Madden the video game continued to pick up steam through the 90s in a big way. And John himself, many will remember, was a commentator for the series for many years. And now here we are in the 2020s, and this game has sold somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 million copies. 3 quarters complete now in the John Madden legacy game from Oakland. It's the AFC on top. And we're back to the Coliseum after this. Back now here on EA Sports. It's NFC football, but they have some work to do on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Sanders. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They'll go again with Sanders. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
Delay of game, offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still third down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Play action. It's Favre. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. Jerry Rice. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the NFC has retaken the lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown on the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on a 2-point try. So trying to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. And Hall not going to bring this one out. The AFC making their way out, and it's one of Coach's favorites, another local guy, Tom Brady, who will be at the controls. And boy, Coach always admired the way number 12 could run an offense, and especially his ability to stay calm under pressure.
Tom Brady is a guy who's always looking downfield. He never looks at the rush. He hangs in the pocket, and he makes a throw. He's a cool guy. He's a tough guy. Let me tell you, there's no one calmer in the pocket than Tom Brady.
And I know that Coach has a great appreciation for Tom Brady, who turned 45 back on August 3rd, because Coach coached a guy like him in George Blanda, who played a long time in the NFL. In this game, it features legends and active players. Tom Brady qualifies as both.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. So, CD, you look at the accumulation of John Madden's achievements in the world of football, the coaching success, the Super Bowl title, the incredible career as a broadcaster with 12 Emmy Awards, Madden the video game. It was very fitting back in 2006 that John Madden got the call to be enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A more deserving person you will not find. He gave an incredible speech on that day, Brandon. So many of his former Raider players were in attendance. He talked about how he envisioned that when the last person turns off the lights in the hall every night, that the bus talk football amongst themselves. And what a discussion that might be.
Yeah, he finished his speech by saying, "Today feels like the second time in my life that I'm being carried off on the shoulders of others. Yet instead of off the field, it's into the Hall of Fame. This has been the sweetest ride of them all." After the sack on 1st down, Brady. And his throw here's incomplete. When you think about John Madden in his retirement years post-broadcasting, he was about as active as most people are in their working years. I mean, he continued to play a key role on the NFL's competition committee. He was available to a wide range of people as a tutor, as a mentor. He continued to teach the game of football to all who would listen. And, Charles, as you and I know, he even continued to provide input, a lot of input on the Madden video game.
Yeah, I know a lot of folks that design and build this game certainly look forward to their yearly visits out to the Madden compound that he had out in the East Bay. They pitch the new aspects of each year's game to him, get his feedback, and then get the sit.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And the offense will recover, but it won't make much difference here. This will still be a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the NFC is going to get the football back in excellent field position. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. run with Sanders. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Throwing is far. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
They'll try and throw for it with Favre. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Oh my, how the tables have turned now. They were trying to salt this one away, but that interception, potentially a game changer.
And I just got to think to myself, at this point of the game, I know you've been aggressive. I know that's your MO, and that's fine. And all those teams that talk about all gas, no brakes, you better have the emergency lever to pull occasionally. They could have used it right there. They put themselves in a tough spot with that interception.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Brady's saying let's go as he'll hustle him to the line. Finding Kelsey, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. To throw is Brady. Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelsey. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now Brady. And that's complete to Gates. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Trying to hurry to the line on the very outskirts of field goal range. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. So it comes down to a man who has done this many, many times before, Adam Vinatieri. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And this one is right down the middle. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And I don't know what more you can say about Adam Vinatieri in that career. Maybe the best to ever do this.
Let's be honest, does anything faze him? Snow, playoff games, Super Bowls. Just watching this made me nervous, but he never broke a sweat.
Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. So the offense back out now, coming off its first interception of the game the last time out, trying to reestablish some momentum here, Charles. But they're trailing defensively, maybe. So it's a win here for the AFC on an incredible afternoon of football and remembering the life of John Madden. Before we go,
time to decide how you're going to make your Madden NFL 23 debut. You could put yourself back on the game's biggest stage and raise that Lombardi in Super Bowl 56. Become coach once again and captain a team of legends and stars to victory in the John Madden Legacy game. Feeling a little rusty on them sticks? Hit the practice field to get some work in before you start a game. Head on over to the main menu and see the full array of options you've got to work with at Madden NFL 23.
Run it up, I cannot quit it, I need it, I ain't where I wanna be, I can admit it. Never submitting, I'm fighting my darkest of thoughts, I am a force. I harbor the light that's inside of my heart, I write in my art and give you my story. You're the witness, I came on a mission to give you my pain and give you my glory. This time, I'm on the grind, oh, I'm shining, nothing can stop me. All these years, blood, sweat, and tears, but I'm still here, nothing.
During settings screen you have 20 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
Nothing can stop me. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up. Nothing can stop me. I overcame all the odds. I ain't been playing it safe, nah. I was just giving my all. I'm taking it there. Hop in the Wraith and we lay in the stars. I made it happen to boss, yeah. I was just playing my cards. I'm taking it there. I'm taking it there. I'm taking it there. It's gonna be a riot, that means quiet. I got the can of gas, I'm about to ignite. I am driven, I won't ever get tired, cause I've been left behind, I have to get right. Waiting on the sign, now I just wait on myself. Got nothing weighing on the mind. One thing I learned after all this time, the mountain you carry meant for you to climb. All this time, I'm on the grind. Oh, I'm shining, nothing can stop me. All these years, blood, sweat, and tears, but I'm still here. Nothing can stop me. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up. Nothing can stop me. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up. Nothing can stop me. Nothing can stop me.
Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Yeah, pull up with a baddie in a fancy car. How to party like a rock star and play guitar like a superstar. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game, baby. Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to raise a bar, how to go large, how to take it too far. Let me show you how to show up and show out and surf the crowd. Trust me, you ain't never seen nothing like this. You ain't never been to a show like this. I'ma give you something to remember forever. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game, baby.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as we are in the inner harbor of Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the Baltimore Ravens. Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fields. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Fields now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they've got to be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. The first time you throw the football winds up being picked, but fortunately for them, it does not lead to points.
Well, that tells you about team football, doesn't it? Everybody gets together. What's that term they use? Complementary football? Okay, he threw the pick. The defense got together and said, hey, let's shut them down. Let's not turn it into points. They did exactly that. Now he gets a fresh start, a clean slate.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They go play action with Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
And that's how you shake off the interception you throw in the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Steps away to his left. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Barton, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
On 3rd down, Jackson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. And now the up man has it. It's a fake. And he's not going to get to the marker. And that's a turnover on downs. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And that will force a turnover on downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Someone's looking fresh, and his O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a 1st down. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the 1st down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the 1st down, get a new set, and let's start over.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, here's Fields. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Fields going to keep it once more. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. His throw caught right around the 6. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the 1st points of the game, and they certainly don't want it to be out of field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Montgomery. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Second down and goal. Fields He'll buy some time right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong. He's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work out a little bit more.
We're scoreless after one. Going option left on 4th and goal. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line. Now Jackson back into his end zone. And that's going to be caught. It's James Prochet. And they work this out past the 25. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Jackson. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Jackson. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards. A 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Jackson will throw again. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And look at this, another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. But that's one of those, Charles, when it works, it looks amazing, and when it doesn't, it means trouble.
Yeah, you're right about that one, partner, because that allows us to say, what are you thinking when it doesn't work? Although I know in his mind when he made the call, he was thinking about the amazing part. But in this case, I think the defense, they caught on to this fairly quickly, and they were able to force the incomplete pass.
Fields throw complete here to Komet. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Going for the deep ball. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Out now is the punter, Jordan Stout. Fielded just inside the 20. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
But you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do? Touchdown, Chicago! Velus Jones, 70 yards. And the Bears post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears.
Makes the score Bears 7, Ravens 0.
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. From the gun, Jackson. And this one is incomplete.
This is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. His throw incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Now Jackson dancing to his left. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big time.
Now they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. There are times to run that fake, and there are times to not run it, and this, without question, would fall in the latter category.
Well, I don't know about without question, partner. I think we should look at the analytics on this one because, oh, yeah, the analytics say, yeah, without question. You should have gone ahead and punted the football because
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens will take over here at their own 14-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Excellent defensive play by Dominic Robinson, beating the line and dropping him for a loss. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. From the 10. And he won't quite make it to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. So we thought maybe they would have a chance to extend this lead on the opening drive of the second half. Instead, they cough it up.
Obviously not an ideal start when you're trying to get a little separation, and I can guarantee that they talked about that in the locker room. Let's get out there, start this quarter the right way. Let's try and put some points on the board and create some space.
It's going to be a 19-yard loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a second and about a mile here. Now it's Jackson. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Caught that look from me there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe making a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Back to throw, Fields. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. So that, Charles, maybe the play that this defense has been looking for.
They've hung in there, and if they lose this game, it won't be from a lack of effort on their part. The key question is, can the offense finally do something? Because we're into the 3rd quarter, and a 0 is still glowing on the scoreboard.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Excellent job on the keeper. 20 yards and a first down. Play action. It's Jackson. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
And a lot of being a defender is being able to learn what you can and can't get away with when in man coverage. In this case, he got away with it and helped pop that ball free.
Throwing is Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Bears will get the football back. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. To Montgomery to begin the drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Fields. Completion here to Claypool. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. That'll give him 8 that time. And that's going to make it 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Crochet on the return. Three-quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And we've seen drive after drive come up empty for them, and they've yet to dent the scoreboard, yet still right in the middle of a one-score game.
So this is where you absolutely have to forget everything that's happened in your previous drives. They don't matter right now. You just mentioned it. One-score game. This drive here can erase all of what happened previously.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Jackson now off the bootleg. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays just like that one we saw there.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air and defensively. They were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
And this offense on 3rd down today, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
The Ravens send their punter out now in punt formation, but as we've seen, that's no guarantee he'll punt the football. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this will be touchdown inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now it's Fields. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But you got to do it in your own backfield. I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And 3 yards on the carry there as his defense holds strong and takes it to 4th and goal.
I know this is your spot, partner, so forgive me for jumping in, but there's no decision right here. They have to go for it in this situation. They're down on the scoreboard. How many other opportunities are you going to get?
Yeah, I'm with you, 4th. Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears have just about sewn up this football game. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all of their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell them to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
We might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to him. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move him off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Here comes the Bears punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
Well, you know what they say. It's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.
Come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible.